Good morning. Okay, good morning. Hopefully some people will show up. Meanwhile, I'm just going to have a cup of coffee in my Seattle cup. Although we're having a beautiful day. And I'm wondering if my sound is working. Did you want to come up? Penelope, come up. Up. Good girl. That's my good girl. Hi. That would be no. Hey, Allie. Okay, can you hear me? Hi. What's that schmutz on your eye? Can anybody hear me? Hello. Hi, Abby. All my dogs are coming in. We just got back from the best hike. I know, we do every Tuesday. We had a great time. Hey, Candace, speaking of hikes, I found the coolest trail that we would have to go up in your Jeep because it's pretty much like a stair-step road. But anyway, there we are. So waiting for a few people to come on. Can anybody hear me? And I don't know how to get comments. I don't know where my Yasmin is. No. Now I can't see anything. Okay, good, Gaynor. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we are going to continue on a little bit. We'll do a Q&A about animals crossing over and things like that. I know that a lot of you went through all of that. So good morning. Good morning, Chris. You were in my dream last night. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. I'm going to need my glasses. Okay. So, of course, I have hay all over them. And who knows what else. So, we, let's see. There have been so many beautiful love letters. I can't. I spent most of Saturday morning reading them. And I'm getting texts and everything. The next thing you know, the phone will start ringing. Anyway, it was amazing to sit. I'd read a few a night, and they're just so powerful. But those love letters, and if you have a moment, it's really honoring of the souls and the people that put the time into writing them. I mean, they're just so powerful. And anyway, I'm really, really, really thrilled with that. And I'll introduce myself. If you're new to me, my name is Joan Ranquet. I'm an animal communicator, author, healer, and TEDx speaker, founder of Communication with All Life University. And the school is a program for you to learn animal communication or to become an animal communicator, to learn energy healing or become an energy healer, and eventually we'll also have a whole nature and wildlife piece. And so right now in the school, we just ended one class. We just are beginning. We're actually on week 3 of the new group. We might even be week 4. That couldn't be. We're on week 3 of a new animal communication level 1. And we just started an acupressure class called, it's not 5 elements, it is yin and yang. Actually, you guys, I'm really distracted because the wind is blowing and birds are like, sort of, you know how a hummingbird can just sort of fly in space? Well, these birds are like hummingbirds. They can't quite fly against the wind. But anyway, So we've got a lot going on in the school, and it's been really fun. Today starts and ends for some. So we have a big Q&A for people that have joined the big program from Animal Communication Level 1. So we've got a huge whole bunch of people coming into that. And that group starts medical intuition. So it's all sorts of fun and arranging and planning and plotting and helping people with their education and their animal communication and energy healing dreams. And we're almost done with the energy healing for animals, and that's been so much fun. Yeah, I mean, every class I say that. So I feel very lucky to just have a school. And there's a comment. What's going on? I missed the whole thing. Oh. Allie, we'll put your dog, is it a dog or a cat? One of my dogs. All right, we'll put it in the group. Yeah, we'll send Bella big love and put her in the big program. Okay. Yeah, so we have lots and lots to talk about. And if you didn't write a love letter, it's okay, because I know that it really is, it was a real act of courage for the people that did. And so if you didn't write one, just know that, you know, people are still really thinking about you and your beloveds, because I think it's really hard. I mean, it was very courageous of the people that did. And so, you know, we have lots to think about. So I'd love to answer any questions you have about, you know, connecting with your beloved, bucket lists. And I wanted to share a little story, actually. So because this has been such a big week for a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people went through a lot as they visited the rerun of the How to Be at Peace after the loss of your beloved. So, you know, a lot of people went through so much and hopefully got through. Hopefully the transformation was absolutely finding some peace, or at least not being as triggered, or, you know, because when you find that peace and grace in your heart, you really can connect with them on a really profound level. And so what is so funny, so my other than the school, I have the other business, Jill and Joan, and we started with hemp products, but we always knew we were going to do acupressure courses. And then Jill's a holistic vet. She decided to go through the whole big program, which has been so fun. And when she was here, my cat slipped out. She was here for the fall intensive, and so I'm thinking about the spring intensive before I go to bed. I'm wondering if Jill is going to be here. I'm wondering, Chris, I already have a chair for you. Wondering if, you know, how people are doing. I'd read all the love letters, and knowing that I'm going to teach that class next weekend, you know, a little more advanced training on death and dying, and I went to bed and I had a dream that my dogs disappeared, and that Jill and I were looking everywhere, and that she was staying with me. And in the dream, it was kind of snowy but kind of wet, so it was a combination of Seattle and here, and I used to live up there. So she took my car and went really far that way, and I went really far this way, and I found my dogs, and I was thinking, oh my God, I found my dogs. And then, so I'm trying to catch up to Jill in the car, and I see that it's Isabella, but I don't think, you know, she's been dead for 4 years. I'm like, okay, Isabella, so good to see you. And then the other one was barking, and running backwards and trying to get my attention. And in my mind, I thought it was Delilah. And I finally looked down. It was like, oh my God, there's Olivia, who used to have more energy than Delilah. And if you know Delilah, at 9, she's a kangaroo. So all of a sudden I have Isabella and Olivia and some other herding dog, and get them all into the car, get to the house, and there are Abby, Delilah, and Penelope with Isabella and Olivia, and then the dream just faded out, and I realized I really had an amazing visitation. I mean, a huge visitation, and Olivia in her almost puppiest form of being as yappy as Delilah can be, as we're about to head out on a hike. And so I just was wondering if, with all this work, if any of you were doing some deep work on that level. Because when you get to that place of peace, and you've moved some of the grief out, and grief is funny because it comes and goes, but it doesn't have to be like, that burlap sack that, is completely suffocating you, It can be at that really peaceful place where it's like something really touches us and we might have a few tears, but we also remember the joy. So I would love to hear from you if you've felt like you've had any visitations since we started doing this work in the last, I guess it's been about 10 days if you include today, because that was 5 days. And then, of course, the reminders of all the love letters in there. I'd love to hear from people. I'll give you a moment. And so, yeah, Allie, if you just go in the search and hit hashtag love letters, you're going to see all of them. And oops, shoot. I have fat fingers. This is why I'm not a good texter, because now I've got some other... Can't even see you guys. There we are. But, it must have been so hard. That dream was so delightful, and that's the thing. That is the piece. It made me so happy to see Isabella, who was just, in my mind, it was Abby. So I wasn't even thinking, oh, I'm getting a visitation. It was like, Isabella, there you are. And she was a master at disappearing, as is Abby. So, oh, that's nice. So Shannon says that she had a visitation with Riley and her dog, Smooch, whom I've known both. And then Opal has been coming to me in my dreams these days. That your love letter and all of the stuff you are talking about has been so, so beautiful. So beautiful. I've been loving the love letter. So Mary says, the love letter was a beautiful release, and doing one was so great. Reading others was so comforting. Yeah. Good morning, Kim. Kim, you've been on my mind. So Cindy says, I really didn't know I had stuffed the pain and grief, but I found probably... I probably had... Oh, shoot, let's see more. Dang. Though the tears in the class brought up were good. I was so drained and other stuff had unbalanced me, so I actually had myself stop the class. I pray I get another chance, or maybe an intensive. Yes, please, Cindy. I think an intensive would be fun. And sometimes I call her name. Yeah, you calling Opal is like, I did that for a long time. Sometimes I still want to call Delilah Olivia. And I probably do. Yeah. Yeah, Gaynor, I love it too. Let's see, and Tanya, I did the meditation yesterday, and while doing it, um, I'm glad you're here, because me reading these things, okay, I've got Yasmin here. I tried calling you, I didn't know where you were.
Thank you. My phone was downstairs.
Okay. Well, Tuesdays are one of those mornings. I mean, now that I don't have Claudia here, I have to tell you what Tuesday is. It's garbage day. It's hike day. It's all those things. So I am whipping around, and then I'm like, I've got to call Yasmin and get her set up. So anyway, if you want to start back with the comments with Tanya. Tanya said that she felt Liam come, and so then I didn't get to the next comment. This is really way more efficient. Thank you.
Wow, that is so... I'm going through all the comments. Amazing. Hang on a second. They're all loading, and it's just... of course, Facebook has...
Disconnecting me. Oh, you know what? The Gibbons are singing right now. I wish I could take you out to hear the Gibbons.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay, now it's loaded. Thank you, Facebook.
Yeah.
For being so cooperative this time. Oh, my God. I see Tanya. I see her comment now, and Liam. And then Mary Ho says, my dog Rudy has come to me several times, but today was great. Huge snowstorm, which he would have loved.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, it's so fun how much... And you know, it's funny you say that, because both my dogs, Olivia and Isabella, love the snow too. So when I had that visitation, it was snowy and rainy. Yeah.
Wow. And then Connie Klaus says, one of my past German shepherds joined my current dog. Oh, stop Facebook. Joined my current dog to play in the snow today. This was the first time she came through. She loved the snow so much. Oh my God.
You know, Connie, that was... that dream the other night was so, like, the packs were merging. I mean, Delilah knew the other pack, but Abby knew Isabella. Anyway, that was really cool. That is really cool. Very, very cool.
Leslie says, so beautiful. Leslie says, I've been having visits from my border collie Pebbles since doing the class.
Wow.
Wow. And my Matchtown Ringblom, I had a visitation dream from my cat Tiger. We got stuck in my car on a rock, and I wasn't able to go anywhere. And Tiger, in one beautiful jump, he made it to the top of the rock. Next moment, Tiger picked up our car and pulled it up. We were fine. I always say that Tiger was my rock at the Sea of Change, as we moved home a lot when Tiger was with me for 15 years. Wow.
That's awesome. That's a great dream.
That is awesome.
I mean, it's amazing what superheroes they are for us, right? Go ahead, Charlie.
Wow. It's true. Charlie Kale, my German Shepherd, Sasha, died 5 weeks ago and had been visiting in many funny ways. But after the class, she had been popping in to all my Reiki clients who she used to greet in person. Wow.
That's so sweet. That is so beautiful.
Chris Houghton Wilson, amazing. Chris says, I loved reading the love letters. I still am going to write mine. Understand. Take your time, Chris. Let's see. Rita Mbara, Mary Lee Tyson says, Cara has Springer Spaniel in her mix. My childhood dog was a Springer named Dixie. So when Cara is so interested in the ducks on the pond, I call her Dixie. Maybe she's in there. Oh, it's a wonderful mystery.
That is so cool. I have a horse. I was showing my friend Ellie of the Gentle Barn. We were on a dog hike yesterday. We were talking about She thinks that there's a chance that one of the pigs that she recently lost is in form again. And so I was showing her pictures. She knows my horse Anya, and showing her pictures of my horse Honey Horse. And I love those kind of mysteries because they undeniably, you just can't not see it, you know? It's so fun.
Amazing.
And the
Oh,
gibbons
so
are
many
still,
beautiful.
I wish that I could take
Go and
everybody
take
up.
your phone to the windows, maybe. No?
I mean, they are really going at it. I haven't heard them go for this long in a long time. Anyway.
Wow. I wish we could hear them.
I know.
So, more comments. Robin Leslie says, I asked my dog Lancelot if he felt like his spirit was honored by his funeral after you had said something about honoring their spirit in the last class.
Mm-hmm.
And he chirped in immediately and said, "Oh yes, I had a funeral fit for a king." I wrapped him in a red. Oh my God, it keeps on jumping. I wrapped him in a red flannel blanket and covered his body with cut lavender that I had grown in the garden.
Oh, that's
and
so
when we
beautiful.
filled the hall up, I put candles, healing crystals, pictures, and memorabilia on his grave and visited it every day to speak to him. It was a beautiful passing. Wow.
Wow, that's really beautiful. and that's
he said he had a funeral for a king.
Yeah, that's so cute. Again, finding that beauty and that grace in the whole thing is what, once we move through all the pain, we find that, So, yeah, it's, and it takes however long it takes. Sometimes, when you know that there's beauty in loss, you're able to do that as you're going through it. And other times you find it later. And it doesn't matter, but it's certainly worth finding. It's really worth finding.
So beautiful. Gertie said that I would love to know if my Mr. Bear is in a happier place now. And I hope he knows Mum loves him so very much still. Oh.
Yeah, of course. And I think that's one of those things where, the more quiet you can get, the more you can connect to your beloved. And certainly, it's the quietness and moving the grief out of the way. And guilt. If I might say that sometimes we still have guilt, we have feelings about how we did it, what we did, and when especially, I've read a lot of stuff about the afterlife. I've felt like I have had a glimpse into it, and I've certainly talked to so many animals from the other side, and the one thing, like reading Anita Morjani's book, and a few other people, like that space on the other side that's unconditional love. I always say that, here at my house, it's totally conditional love. My animals like me when we're doing what they want. But that's truly unconditional love. And there's the general overall theme is that, there is an element of freedom and love, and there isn't that sense of, oh, I wish you would have done this or that. Like, they know how much we love them, and they're cheerleading from the other side saying, and I love you that much more. So it's really, when you can feel that feeling, that's when you carry them in your heart in the most profound way. And it's worth moving through your grief, being with your grief, moving through your guilt, just saying to the guilt that, you don't fit anymore. What cat just, that was Buster Keaton. And then being, with your grief, being with your guilt, just saying to the guilt that, you don't fit anymore. What cat just, that was Buster Keaton. And then being, with your grief, being with your guilt, just saying to the guilt that, you don't fit anymore. What cat just, that was Buster Keaton. And then being, with your grief, being with your guilt, just saying to the guilt that, you don't fit anymore. What cat just, that was Buster Keaton. And then able to get that quiet to connect with them. So it's really powerful. And then what time is it?
It's nearly 1:30 my time, Eastern time. So
Okay.
10:30 your time.
Are there more comments?
There are more comments. Yeah, Ritambara kind of echoes what you just said, to say the heart sees what the mind can't.
Yeah.
You know, and when you quiet your heart, as you say, then a lot is revealed.
You know.
And Loretta, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
What I was going to say is we could just do a little meditation to get quiet and connect up with our beloveds if we wanted to. That might be fun.
That would be so beautiful. I'll read you one more and then we can do it. I do Loretta Ayat Kin.
Yes, she's in the big program. Yes.
Oh wow. I do get visitations from my kitties. I felt them cuddling with me at night, and the movement of the bed when they do the kneading thing. This was the only home that they ever knew, 18 plus years, and I really hope that when I move in a few months that they will come with me.
Of course they'll come with you.
So beautiful.
You know, yeah. I have to tell you, so I had a horse named Raleigh, and he was like tall, dark, handsome, sexy and funny, you know, the man of my dreams. And I was with him for 15 years, and he was such a powerful force, not just in my life, but in many of my students' lives, and also with the girls, with my two horses. And he died up in Seattle, and he'd been with me to Denver, to Florida, and back to Seattle. And when he died, it was such a big hole that a series of events aligned that I ended up moving maybe 2 months after he died, 2.5 months after he died. And it was winter, and it was so empty. That barn was just so empty without his presence there. And so I moved here, and so now I'm in Southern California, a place where he had never been. But I know all the time when he's here, because he stands up on the driveway and freaks the girls out. And he gets them to sit and scream at a ghost horse. And not only does he do that to the two girls, but Drakkar, my new horse that never knew him, will look up at the top of the driveway every now and then, and like Raleigh's telling him to be good. So it's amazing how they'll follow us. You know, Olivia never lived here, and she showed up the other night. So yeah, anyway, let's do a little quieting, mind quieting. So let's just put our feet on the ground and really ground our energy, putting ourselves in the earth, just feeling our feet growing roots and grounding our energy, and feeling into our hearts, and taking this time. Let's just take a few moments to be super quiet. And if you feel that things are creeping into your mind right now, just go ahead and move them aside. And let's just be very quiet. And knowing that we're all connected together, so we're in a very safe space, I want you to go ahead and move your attention into your heart. Feel your heart opening. And I want you to feel your beloved in your heart. You don't have to see him or her. You don't have to hear. I want you to just feel it in your heart. If you see, that's a bonus, but right now we're just feeling that essence. Feeling that essence. And if you want to bring the animal to your mind's eye, you can do so now. And I want you to take this moment to say in your mind or out loud anything you feel like saying, that in particular about the end, if you feel like something wasn't okay. I want you to just take this moment to talk with your beloved about what happened. And now I want you to take this moment to hear or sense or know or feel anything they'd love to say back to you. And now I want you to take a moment and remember one of the most joyful times you had with your animal companion, where you just either were laughing or you smiled so big it would fill a room, or something that made your heart sing. Just let's be with that for a moment. And I want you to feel that love filling your aura, like you're being embraced by that love. And your friend can stay with you if they'd like to, but at this point I want you to go ahead and move your attention back into the bottom of your feet and feel the earth beneath you. Feel your hands and fingers, wiggle your toes and fingers. And when you feel ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And I'd love to hear how that went. Yasmin, did you feel Ruby with you?
Oh my God, I can barely talk. You have to give me a few seconds.
I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. Wow. It was, incredible. Just incredible. Her presence, I felt her so strongly with me. And I know that she's helping me because I'm going through stuff with Lani right now. And she always used to be that little go-between.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. And just her loving presence, just her knowledge and just her love, just to like say, calm down, it will be okay, give each other space. And I was just feeling that from her so much now. Oh, so many comments. Sure. Wow. Ritambara says, I find it so much easier to connect with Opal now than when my emotions were so easily triggered by losing her in the physical form.
That's
Time
so
does heal.
true. It's so true.
Beautiful. Yeah. Oh my God, so true. Laura Seeley says, so beautiful and peaceful. Thank you for this, Joan. Mary Hughes says, it is always so powerful. Both Crazy Jake and Rudy were with me. Tiffany Miller, the communication seemed faster than words. Yep. Totally.
Yeah, that was, I mean, I feel like we were in a field of energy that was just profound. I don't know if other people felt that, but I'd love to hear if you felt that loving field of energy.
It's true, because I felt it came on so quickly. Like, I didn't have to try so hard. I just got Ruby instantly, and no words, just feelings, you know. It was so fast.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of them, I always say this in terms of almost any behavior that we see that's unwanted, like their safety, their ability to feel safe comes through feelings. So animals' feelings are so important to them. And when we can be with our feelings, whether it's grief or sadness or love, and be aware of our feelings, we can connect with theirs. And as long as our feelings aren't overwhelming us, and that's part of the challenge with grief, is it's like the grief can overwhelm us and we can't see through it, whereas grieving, if we allow it to be more like ocean waves and go into the deep and come out and have joy, and go into the deep and come out and have joy, like that, not that there's a proper way to grieve, but that's certainly a healthy way to grieve, to just really feel the loss, but feel the joy when it's right there in front of you, and all the other things you can feel. And then you really navigate through it in a way that's not stuffing, that's not, that just gives you the ability to like open your heart and feel them. So that is, I'm telling you, since COVID, I feel like I have dinner with my dead parents a lot.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah. What are people saying?
Laura Wilson was with me throughout. I felt his love throughout me. I know he's still here. Thank you. And Cindy Atwood says, one of my first really clear messages came as I was crying over a cat dying I was reading about in a book. My Gallard, as a puppy, still with his mom, told me he'd come back to be my very special boy. Heard it like it was in the room.
That's awesome.
And now he says, I would have gone through hell and high water for you. I regretted his painful journey with the osteosarcoma. I'm always here for you. So much love. Wow. Charlie Kale says, Sasha said, let go of that grief. I've told you, you can't hear me when that is blocking things. Shannon Meyer says, wow, a big release of something I thought I had previously processed with Riley.
Oh,
Tears, then laughs, and then love. Pure love and peace. So healing. Leslie Williams says, I felt so much love from Pebbles. She put her head in my hand. Oh my God. Tanya Hoffey says, beautiful. My eyes are wet. I felt his arms just reach around me and say, I love you, Mama.
oh, that's so sweet.
Gaynor Merrill North says, thank you, my heart listens.
Oh,
Jerry Bandis Murphy just sends hearts, purple hearts.
I love that.
Majka Tiger, I hope I'm pronouncing names, excuse me. Tiger showed up with a huge red heart in his little kitten paws.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is really powerful. And, you know, this will be here, obviously, and it will be on YouTube. And so if you have friends that are really grieving, maybe this is something they can visit. And I think that, you know, and for those that maybe didn't quite feel something, if any of you are there that didn't feel something, maybe move through a little more grief and come back to this. You know, this is something that I hope you come back to. I hope this is an anchor for you to have that peace and feel that love and know that they aren't thinking anything about how it happened. They're just in that space of love. So it's very, very, very profound. And being able to help people feel that kind of love, like now you get to go out and be that, in that space in the world today. And that just helps the whole planet. I lost you on the screen. I don't know where you went. Oh well. We do have a little virtual retreat where we will do a lot more of that next weekend. And again, this is going to be sitting here. We will be, if you can get through the master class, it's going to be up for a little while longer. So I would really recommend doing it. And I would also love if after that meditation today, you have an experience, like more experience, let's do a hashtag visitation and see if we can, you know, share with each other what, you know, anything more from our visit today with our beloveds, because I think that more will be revealed, right? You're going to feel more and more. And I have a feeling, Yasmin, you just opened a channel for you and Ruby to be free to communicate. And that's what this is doing, is, right? Like, we opened a channel and it's an anchor for us to be able to come back to and be with those feelings and that connection that then leads to more communication. So I'm really, really glad that we went that way. And we're going to send big love to Allie's dog in the vet hospital, and hopefully the dog's coming home immediately. And I'm really glad for those of you that found some peace today, and for those of you that still have a lot of emotions. I totally get it, and it might not be the perfect right moment, but we'll tag this in such a way that you can come back to it and revisit if you need. Right, Yasmin?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just, this was one of the most beautiful ones, really. Whew.
Yeah, it was really inspired by my visitors. I have a lot of visitors. Well, I have to teach here in a little bit, so I'm going to wrap up. We just wanted to let people know we've got the virtual retreat coming up. We've got the acupressure classes, and we also have if people are interested, if you ever saw the Silva Method, we have some Silva Method electives for my students, but I feel like a lot of you would really benefit from that if you're trying to get into this work. If this is something you want to do and you can't quite commit yet to my stuff, the Silva Method's a great place to start. And because it is such a great place of dropping in. And then I'm trying to think, Spring Intensive, hello, April 9th through the 17th. You could do it online or in person, I think. Fingers crossed. It'll be a hybrid. And I'm just picturing in the fall intensive is going to be a really cool hybrid. But that's future casting. Let's stay here with the immediate. We're, like 2 months, little less than 2 months out from the spring intensive. So, we can get on the phone. You can talk to me or Shannon about whether you want to fly in. Shannon can answer all your questions. And we'll be having a lot of fun. It's 3 days of animal communication, 3 days of EFT, and then 3 days of animal communication and healing in sanctuaries. And more, that's going to be such necessary work because, more and more animals are landing in sanctuaries. So hopefully, I think my battery just died on that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. We can still hear you, yes.
Okay.
I think. Hang on.
My battery died on my microphone. Connie, I'm so glad that you and Ivy had a beautiful exchange. I love that. I love that. All right, so I'm off to teach, and I just want to thank you all for being here and for being present and present enough to be with your feelings and with your animals. I mean, it's powerful stuff. And next week we have Julie Webb on. She's going to be my guest. She's in the program currently. And so, anyway, it'll be very fun. So thank you. And I will see those of you that are in class today or tonight. And otherwise I'll see you here next week. Thank you.
Perfect.